Welcome to the Jesus Show. I'm your host, Jesus, and today we are going to be doing part 9 in the young, lean Barron Machat story. So, yes. This show is brought to you by our one sponsor, Automat. Wash it all and buy your soul back. The links are cash.me/$washitall, paypal.me/washitall. You can DM Real Cult Girl on Twitter or Daylife Mary on Instagram to get our Bitcoin links so that you can make a wash that way. And let me flip this over. Going live on different platforms here, just so you get the mood, bro. All right. You know what I forgot to do? I forgot to put in my music. So please bear with me for a second here. All right. So, a little background on myself. My name is Jesus. I'm also known as the Dan Brook. That's my private name, and that's my name when I was doing business with Young Lean and with Barron Machat. I was the business affairs coordinator at Red Eye Distribution and A&R at my own record label, which I started for them, Break World Records. So at the time I was working at the distributor, I was given my own record label to run, and one of the first artists that I signed, or was in the process of signing, was Young Lean. Okay, so and I urge you to go back and watch the previous episodes of the series so that all of this makes sense. If you're watching this one, you can just, stay tuned. But, after you're done, go back and watch part 1 through 8 if you haven't seen them already, because there's a lot of information contained in those that will make what I'm talking about today make a lot of sense. And I just want to say, so I'm gonna basically I'm going to continue past the point that I left off on part 5. And so getting back to the actual story of what happened, the last 2 episodes I was discussing more, how this story exists in the meta. And I just want to reiterate again, there is nothing unique about this story. It is simply the story of our generation to represent this phenomenon that has happened over and over and over and over and again, with countless examples. I gave a lot of them on the last video, but I didn't even really fucking scratch the surface of what all of this means. And it is ultimately an old story. And I'm telling it to you to let you know how I'm a fucking part of it, but also to tell you how you're a part of it, because this is not unique to me. You do not have to have worked in the music business to experience something like this. You do not need to work in politics. You do not need to be in these fields to experience this, because it happens on micro level. It doesn't just happen IRL. It doesn't just happen because you know a celebrity. It doesn't just happen because you're in you're in an industry where a lot of this happens. This is happening to you on a micro level. And not even, I say a micro level, it's not even that small. Because basically, the same principles that they use in a sacrifice. The idea that harvesting... Emily? The idea that harvesting a broken bond produces easy story, easy energy, does not just exist through sacrifice. It does not just exist through rape, even. It exists URL as well. It is something that you experience when you're online, when you're trying. Basically, social media is a great way to look at it because it happens in social relationships. And one of the reasons social media is so powerful is because it is a medium for bonds to be created between billions of people. And infinite different combinations of those bonds. And in the same way that a sacrifice, or abuse, a sexual abuse, anything like that, can sever a bond and harvest it, there are smaller ways that you have experienced it, bro. Whether it's shadow banning, bro. I am shadow banned on Instagram. I'm shadow banned on Twitter. My shit does not get shown to people. If you're seeing my content right now, that means that you fuck with me on a level, or the algorithm has decided to let you through. But there are algorithmic barriers so that my story doesn't get heard. Okay? And that is not just me. That happens to a lot of people, bro. A lot of people who are trying hard to connect. Your viewership is not controlled by you. It is not just about rising and grinding and, post all the time and you'll get all the viewers you need and you can build a fucking life like Gary Vee. No, bro. Sure, there's some truths in there. There's some good principles to live by. But it is fucking op controlled. Okay? Throttling, bro. Getting throttled where you can't reach anyone and people can't reach you. You don't show up in the searches, bro. It's real. Discouragement. On so many levels, bro. I talk a lot how I was basically discouraged out of talking my whole life. I was discouraged to use my upper broadcast center. I was told that if I talked, I was told by my family that sometimes the things that I said could lead to people getting hurt or people dying. Most recent example is I was told by my dad, whatever you do, don't tell your grandfather what you're doing or that you're in the Day Life Army or any of that, because he's an old man and he may die if he hears that information. But that's just been the fucking story of my life, bro. I've been discouraged from speaking. And what it did is it pushed me towards drugs, because drugs gave me permission to talk. It pushed me towards sex in an irresponsible way, because sex in an irresponsible way gave me an excuse to communicate in ways that I didn't have to open my mouth in order to do. Humans are discouraged in all of these ways, bro. And you can go back and watch my lives where I tell, or go on my Instagram and go through my archives. I'm not sure all of this is archived, but stories of when I was a teenager and the kind of fucking the varying levels of trauma I experienced by being told that I wasn't allowed to communicate with my mouth, so I had to communicate in other ways. And I avoided a lot of IRL trauma, but it still fucking happened URL. The ways that people deny, derail, distract, distort what you have to say, bro. Cancellations, bro. Getting canceled. The opposite of getting canceled. Going viral for something and then having it all taken away. Giving you a glimpse. Giving you a distraction from other parts of your life. Showing you, okay, you're viral now, bro. We're gonna, so just keep doing what you're doing in this exact sphere. For me, the whole reason I worked in the music business was because of an IRL virality. I went to a college and I wanted to study music business. In the last week of school, they switched. I was supposed to have one roommate who was just like this normie dude. They switched out my roommate in the last minute with a dude whose dad ran the top independent music distributor in America. He was randomly put into my room. This was what I was going to school for. And to be honest, if I had just taken classes, if I didn't know this person, because I dropped out of that major anyway, because it's a fucking bullshit major. If I did not meet fucking Brent Hansen, if that fucking bond wasn't created, I would not have been doing music business. I wouldn't have had a way in. And I would have given up on that. But in that way, they were like, okay, this person can be corralled into this specific career trajectory. So let's fucking make it happen for that guy. So that is toxic virality. It happens when you get fucking clout poison, bro. This was IRL clout poisoning. I got clout poisoned by being put in a room with someone who could set me up to be extremely successful in one avenue, so I would ignore all of these other fucking opportunities. And it worked. I got fucking sucked in, and me being a person who, whatever I've tried, I've excelled at. When I made music as a kid, I won awards for composition. I had fucking celebrities like Diane Keaton walking up to me as a child to commend me on fucking things on my music, which, you know, is another fucking sus road that I could have gone down, was being a talented child who was picked up by a celebrity. When I was a kid, I went to acting camp and I did real auditions in Hollywood and got picked up by an agent to be a child actor in Hollywood. And my mom ended up screwing that up for me, and I resented her for it, but really she was doing me a favor, because I was about to get IRL fucking poisoned. I was about to get boosted in a way that would have just led me into the fucking pedophile cabal. Okay? I was a cute kid. It would not have fucking gone well for me, bro. It would not have fucking worked. My mom was like, I don't want to have to fucking drive you to rehearsals. And she told the agent on the phone, like, I don't know. Like, I don't know if I want to have to drive him to fucking class or whatever. Like, not class, to rehearsals and stuff. The agent was like, oh, okay, you're a protective mother. Or your mother is not going to fucking just, like, you know, let everything that we're doing happen. Because my mom's not even that protective. She's protective of herself, which in a way makes her protective of her kids, just not in an unconscious way. That, you know, it works. So these are all the ways, you know, I could have been fucked up on that route. And then I was like, okay, music business, let's fuck him up on this fucking route. And I haven't even gone into the fact that, bro, like, I fucking found Barron, and then, you know, Barron's sacrifice, as much as it was there to harvest to harvest the broken bond between Young Lean and Barron, to make Young Lean into the fucking tortured, teen fucking failed superstar. I don't even know what he is, bro. He's relevant in a specific military intelligence controlled kind of way that he wasn't about to be. He was about to just be like fucking Justin Bieber. Like, he was just gonna be a white rapper that fucking made it. They're like, we want you in a specific fucking zone. And they put him in that zone. But based on how I ended up in the music business in the first place, it was as much to harvest my relationship with Barron. And harvest the fact that I was about to fucking... I had been encouraged to a level where I thought everything in my life was going to start working. And then having that, my friendship, my human bond with a person, my self-esteem, my life taken away from me in that moment of discouragement. Overnight failure, bro. I was dangled. Overnight success was dangled in front of me, and it was all fucking taken away. So yeah, these are the ways that it's not just... It does not always end in a sacrifice. It does not always end in murder. It does not always end in sexual abuse, ritual abuse, adrenochrome, any of these things. These are the extreme cases of it. And it's a lot of how the very powerful people run off those things. But it exists everywhere. It's happened to you. It's happened to me. It's happened to everyone. It is the 96% of pain that exists in the pain matrix, that runs everything. They wouldn't be able to do it otherwise. They would not be able to do it. So, I went into the details of the night that Barron died. I want to talk to you about the aftermath. And I got into this a little bit about how I emotionally felt. Okay? So, Barron dies. And at this point, I was not on this level of fucking understanding what happened, bro. I didn't get it. I was just feeling it. I felt fucking broken. Alright? That suddenly this dream of mine was taken from me. That my relationship, someone who could have been my best friend, was taken from me. And a best friend that I could do business with, that I could fucking grow shit with, was taken from me. And then Steven and Machat and I started talking every day, multiple times a day. And it started to be about how I was going to take over the Hippos and Tanks legacy, how I was going to take over Barron's legacy. And people around me were saying the same thing. That this shit rested on my shoulders. And I was convinced of it. So, and Steven was saying the same thing. That we were going to put out the Young Lean record in honor of Barron's life. And everything that Barron was doing, I felt a moral responsibility to take over. Barron had brought Goth Money to Red Eye as a distribution deal. I was like, I got to keep that going. That was something that Barron believed in. I was like, all right, I will do Goth Money as well. So in the subsequent months, I was being pulled in different directions, okay? Now, Red Eye never liked Steven Machat. It's the same reason that YouTube commenters don't like Steven Machat. It's the same reason that artists on Hippos and Tanks didn't like Steven Machat. Bro is he's a difficult fucking guy. He's a music business gangster. He does shit a kind of way that people are not prepared for. Generally are not fucking prepared for. To me, being a fucking Jew who was raised by Israelis and fucking military intelligence, seeing this fucking MI grandpa who did things with a certain fucking gangster je ne sais quoi, I was into it. I liked it. And I like ambitious people, and I like people who are fucking weird, who push their agenda. And he was a little bit of a cult leader, bro. The responses that he got from people were very cult-esque. His following, he was working on something called the Wheel Party at the time, which he was just a guy who was willing to fucking talk the talk, bro. And, you know, to some extent fucking walk the walk, but he had a belief system, all right? And he was the first person to tell me that fucking Hillary Clinton was gay, and that Bill Clinton was gay, and that John Lennon was gay, and like all of these fucking people were gay, that, you know, all these conspiracies in the music business, you know, all this shit that at the time now I'm like, okay, a lot of that was true. But I just didn't. He was just like, no, I know those guys. It happened, you know. Always telling these stories, and I was in the music business where people were like, oh, I manage Wilco. I'm like, that was like the level that people were fucking at. They were like, Wilco, like if you knew Wilco or like managed them, or Nick Lowe, or like all of these like indie stars that were not, you know, it's just, there's only a level of fucking excitement. There's not that much fucking excitement in that. This dude was like, I managed Ozzy Osbourne, I managed Leonard Cohen, my dad was the lawyer for the Beatles. It just smacked different. This guy had the bloodline. I saw that. I saw that he had the fucking bloodline. And by extension, Barron was part of that bloodline. And I was like, fuck. So after Barron died, it was very much that I was being fucking... And I'll say the word groomed. I don't even mean it in a negative fucking connotation, bro. I was the one who was being fucking brought into filling that role. And I was reluctant about it, but at the time, I was just like, I gotta fucking do this. I don't know what else I'm supposed to do. This is the thing right in front of me. These are the records I want to deal with. This is the story that I'm now intimately a part of. So Steven immediately is like, okay, we're putting out the fucking Young Lean record. And I was like, okay, we're going to do it. And he's like, don't worry, we'll get it all worked out. We'll get the deal done, and we'll do it. I remember talking about it. I remember coming to Barron's memorial service in New York. Me and the Hansen family, we drove up to New York. Emily Friedlander was actually there. Hi, Emily. We ended up going to the memorial service, and I remember Steven talking to me at the memorial service, and he just was like reassuring Tor and I, Tor's the owner of Red Eye, we're going to put out this record, don't worry, we're going to put out the record. And I was like, we're here for Barron, like, the record is the record, like, whatever, but this is, like, we're here because fucking, for Barron's memorial. But I think that was, in a way, one of Steven's way of fucking grieving was to be like, just get fucking business about it. So we started having 2 to 3 business conversations a day. And I knew that I was filling this fucking void, bro. Because he didn't have this relationship with his daughter. He had a specific relationship with his son. His son was supposed to take over his legacy, take over the fucking bloodline, take over his business, the family business. And he needed that. That was a huge part of his life. And now he was alone, and I was right there. And I was the next best fucking thing. So we started talking. And very soon after, Steven started telling me fucking details of what happened. He told me about how his apartment was trashed. How this was done as a satanic ritual, all of this shit. But he would flip. He one day he would be like, Barron Machat, my son was killed by Young Lean. Young Lean killed my son. And then the other day, he'd be like, yeah, we're going to get the contracts done. I'm meeting with Emilio. We're going to get it fucking done. And then the next day, he's like, I don't even fucking want to do this record. Blah, blah, blah. Like, whatever. Now, I doubled down with my relationship with Steven. First of all, not only were we putting out this Young Lean record, we was also putting out a James Ferrara record, which was Barron's other artist that he brought to break world records. So I'm working with James Ferrara through Steven as management. So I'm talking to Steven about that, and I'm fucking nervous as fuck to put out this record without, like, the brainchild behind it. The person who, first of all, was James Ferrara's manager, best friend, fucking dude who kept him from fucking going off the deep end, bro. And now it's like, I'm younger than James Ferrara, and I'm like, gonna figure out how to fucking wrangle in this artist to fucking put out the record and not spend too much money and do all this fucking thing, get everything in on time. And I'm intimidated by him. Because he's a hero of mine. So I'm like, oh, okay, I gotta manage this fucking hero of mine. Manage his expectations. I ended up being his fucking cuck, bro. I ended up giving him more money than we had to spend, making promises that we couldn't keep because I felt intimidated by him. I felt like I had to do this. And I was like, I would be doing Barron somehow a disservice in not doing everything that this artist wanted. And James was actually... gave me some fucking good advice. The first phone call that we had after Barron's pass, I told him what I was doing. I told him, hey, we're still trying to put out the Young Lean record. I'm going to sign Goth Money. Goth Money was like the other project that Barron was working on when he died. And James Ferraro was like, bro, are you sure that you want to be fucking carrying on this legacy? And I was like, yeah, man, I got to do it. And he's like, that's heavy, man. Like, are you sure you want to do that? Like, you want to keep fucking... because you're going to be staring at this fucking legacy. You're going to be staring at this shit. And I was like, yes, that's what I want to do. I know that that's what I want to do. I didn't actually want to do it, but I was like... I thought I had to, in a way. And I was trying to fucking claw back how fucking tragic Young Lean's fucking this scenario had been. I was trying to fucking claw back anything, any little fucking whiff of this being some sort of salvageable fucking thing. I was trying to claw back like any silver lining, any fucking like value that I could get out of the fact that I poured so much emotionally and fucking lost so much on this deal. I was like, if I don't get to put out this record at all, if I had just cut my losses and walked away, it would have been healthier. But I was like, I was like hanging on, bro. I was trying to get anything out of the stock that I bought. And it was a little bit of a fucking ego fucking centric fucking mood, bro. I still wanted that fucking promise of what that doing that fucking record would do for me. I still wanted the dream. I still wanted what I would have gotten out of a relationship with Barron, a working relationship. I still wanted all of that shit. So I chased it and I got nothing back. I ended up being pulled in two different directions. I was Red Eye, who didn't like Steven, being pulled by Steven. Steven changing his fucking mind. Changing his mind every other fucking day. About whether Barron Machat was killed or if we got to fucking put out the Young Lean record. It was literally his way of grief oscillated back and forth between his son being fucking sacrificed and like this will to like do this record in memory of Barron. So I was constantly like, I don't know what the fuck you want from me, bro. I don't know what I'm supposed to do in this situation. Am I supposed to continue with this? Am I supposed to walk away? Is my wanting to put out this record actually fucked up, bro? Eventually, I'll skip forward, bro. Eventually, I was like, let's fucking work out a deal. I tried to fucking work out a deal. And I was like, bro, I just really want to fucking, I do want to do this Young Lean record. And Steven was like, bro, I'm kind of disappointed. I thought after everything that happened with Barron, after the way that he died, that you wouldn't want anything to do with this kid. And that was a gut punch. But also I was like, bro, I was like confused. I was like, I thought we were doing this. I thought this was going to be our fucking time, bro. I thought you were in this with me. But at that point, it had really sunk in that this was like, this was more than just a fucking deal, bro. This was a deal that went into fucking Satanism, bro. Into the pain matrix. It was consumed in pain. So I was like, fuck, I guess I'm a bad fucking person, bro. Alright, guys. I'll be back in a couple days. We'll do part 10. There's parts I want to get into. But thanks for rocking with me today. This show is brought to you by Automat, our sponsor. Cash.me/$washitall. PayPal.me/washitall. Cash.me/$washitall. PayPal.me/washitall. Wash it all, buy back your soul, get it done. Alright? I will be back tomorrow. Just as a heads up, I go live every day. So I'm always fucking going live. If you ever want to see what the fuck I'm about, I am not hiding. I am transparent. You can come, you can ask questions, you can fucking catch a vibe. You need never be confused about what's happening in Jesus' life, because it is all the fuck out there. I'm going to be continuing this story, probably another 3 parts to this specific story. But I'm going to be telling the larger story, and I am telling the larger story in everything that I do, and everything, all the story that I tell. So I encourage you to come back, watch other lives, go back, watch part 1 through 8, and yeah, bro, it's been real. Follow me on Twitter, Jesus of Daylife. On Instagram, Daylife Jesus. On Twitter, well, I said Twitter, Jesus of Daylife. You got it. You understand what's going on. All right, I will talk to you tomorrow. Goodbye.